Okay, that brings us to our fifth theme, which is partnership evaluation and challenges. Uh, how do you evaluate the success of your partnerships?
We evaluate the success of our partnerships on what we are able to contribute and what is able to be contributed to us. We are strong believers in taking the advice of those who successfully have accomplished what we are trying to accomplish. And so, when we have these relationships with different organizations, we not only select the relationships based off of size and structure of an organization, but what information they're able to contribute to us to help us to get to the next level. Um, we can take advice from any size organization and any type of organization, but we would rather take the organizations that are in the direction of the what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish, and those who are willing to distribute that information to us. So we really value the organizations who are we can help to grow and those who can help us to grow, and we make sure that we don't take criticism from those we would never take advice from.
Oh, that's a gem. Okay. Have you created measurable outcomes or metrics to track the effectiveness of the partnership?
Yeah, and we also have a third party agency that helps us to do our reporting. We have churn, a lot of churn reports and different reports that kind of help us to be able to watch where we are and help us to organize where we're going. And we are every single segment has reports that they have to turn in kind of around close, the close of the month, the fiscal month, and definitely around the close of the fiscal year. So the reports that we gather together to see where we are as an organization. And what we do is we do a trial balance review, not only to see where we are financially, but to see where we are in terms of head count, in terms of employees, in terms of just where we are as an organization. So, yeah.
Okay, so how do you incorporate the lessons that you learned from that into future partnerships?
We incorporate what we currently have in future partnerships because we know that, for example, when we look at our reports and when we see like our churn level or the reporting of headcount, we we use that as a factor to see where what we don't want to repeat and what we do want to repeat and where we want to go. So we know that if we have another company whose churn level is kind of high, we know we don't want to go to them to ask them what they're doing to actually. If we do go to them, we'll ask them what they are doing and not repeat those mistakes, but we will rather just go to people who are successfully pulling off what we're trying to accomplish and follow their guidelines. So that pretty much reporting is really important in the factors that we use for growth.
Okay. Um, can you share what kinds of challenges you've had in your partnerships, like barriers related to funding, resources, or even differing priorities?
Yeah, when first starting out, unfortunately, there's a lot of when you're starting out, we started out as a non we were a nonprofit completely, and starting out in that segment is kind of difficult because it's kind of cutthroat and everybody wants their organization to grow, but they don't want to tell you what they did to get where they are because it's kind of like a crap pot.
Okay.
And a lot of organizations in our sector, I won't say every organization, but in our sector, especially with the demographic that we were trying to grow, and so, just overcoming the challenges and knowing who was authentic in their help and who was not, and those people who stuck to their word and those people who weren't. out to just see what they can get, but also those who wanted to for real collaborate and grow together. So we have some organizations where we came for mentorship, and the mentorship was only what about what they can get from us and not what we can gain. And so when we decided to leave our current demographic and say, hey, we in order to get what we want, we have to do what other things people have not done. So let's think outside of the box and make sure that if we do get collaborators, we make sure that we don't listen to the majority, because the one thing that you want to do when you go wrong is listen to the majority. Majority is not always right. Okay.
Gotcha.
And so
Yes,
if you want to make a mistake, listen to everybody, because everybody's doing what everybody else has done. But when you want to listen to those, the people that I've learned to listen to and the organizations I've learned to gain help from is the underdog, the one that don't think like everybody else.
I hear you.